Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to do a product wear test for the JCat Aqua Surance. I bought this the other day over at Ulta. I was super excited to see it because every time I've gone in, there's no JCat area. Somebody must have returned this to the store because it says JCat online is online only for Ulta. So I was really excited to get this. I got it in the shade Ivory. I'm very fair, but the reason I wanted to try this, it's a compact foundation, is because I really wanted it to set my under eyes. I have extremely dry skin, and I'm hoping that maybe this will wear better than just a typical powder for setting. So let's go ahead and open it up. It's brand new. I have not used this at all. So I'm gonna do a first impressions and I'm gonna do a wear test. So I'll do a couple check-ins throughout the day. Normally by, I would say if I do my makeup around 9 o'clock in the morning, it's going to start looking just kind of not great in the under eye area, probably around dinner time. So I usually have to remist my face multiple times a day just to kind of keep it so that everything's staying together. It doesn't matter what foundation I try, how much I moisturize, it just, that's my skin, it's so dry. So let's go ahead and give this a test. What I'll do is, here's the little thing, just to show that I'm not pretending that it hasn't been used. There's no swatches on it or anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a damp sponge, and I know I have one here. Oh, hold on. Okay, so a damp little blender, and I'm gonna just get a little bit on there, and we're going to just pat this in to set my under eye. I've already done all of my foundation and my, I don't like the mirror too much in there, so I'm going to use my little handheld here. I did my brows already, my concealer, and all of that. So far this is applying pretty nicely. It says that you can use this with a damp sponge or dry, so it's just up to personal preference. It does say you get a little bit more coverage if you apply it with a damp sponge, so that's what we're gonna do just to see how well it performs. But so far it's looking good. And it claims to not really be very creasy. So another area that I'm gonna do is just right here along my nose. That area gets really dry and patchy for me as well. But the rest of my face, I have already set with just my traditional powder. I go through a lot of powder in terms of setting, just because I don't want my face to feel tacky. So I use the drugstore Coty Airspun. JCat's also considered drugstore brand, so it's very affordable. This was about $14 if I remember correctly. I think it was $13.99. So I mean, it feels nice. It's definitely set in that area. So happy with it so far. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish my makeup here really quick. I am one that uses a mix of drugstore product and prestige. So today for my blush and bronzer, I'm going to use the Too Faced palette. It's the Natural Face palette, and I am going to go in with the lightest shade here, Sunny Honey, and just bronze up a little bit. It is very cold here today. We've got about 20 degrees for the high, and it's supposed to start snowing tonight, so my lighting's not always the greatest, but that's just because it's cloudy outside today. Normally my house is very bright, and just because I have a ton of windows. So do under here, and that's good. And then I just do under the mouth. I just squish my brush just to get in under there. And I do the same. I'm going to pay a little bit more attention on my nose. Contour just a little bit there. And a little bit of the tip. And then I'm just going to very lightly go over that to blend it out so I don't have a harsh line. And then make sure that this is buffed really good. Okay. So next I'm going to go in with the blush. My favorite color here is this pink sand. I do use the Pink Wink, the brighter color, but I just prefer to have more of a mauve-y tone on my cheeks. So that's what I do. I stamp and then kind of drag to blend. So okay, that looks good. So next I am going to go in. I use the highlighters in here, but they're a little dark for my skin. I'm super fair tone, so if I use those, usually I'll put them on my eyelids because they look really pretty. I am a fan of the blend and everything. I just don't always like the way that it looks as a highlight on my skin. So what I'm gonna do is go in with my Laura Geller, and we're just gonna swirl, and I'm gonna grab my little thing so I'm a little more precise, and just apply this to the cheek. A lot of times I use the Wet n Wild highlights. They are really pretty, and they're a fabulous price. So if you want to go in with something that's a little bit more affordable, I highly recommend Wet n Wild. That's one of my go-tos almost every single day. My teenage daughter, whenever I'm wearing, she notices though when I wear the Laura Geller, she's like, what highlight do you have on today, Mom? And I'm like, oh, it's the Laura Geller. And she's like, oh, knew it. So I think she just notices that it does look just a smidge nicer, but honestly, my go-to is really that Wet n Wild. It's not always my Laura Geller product. This one's in the shade, sorry about that, Peach Glow. So I do love this product. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to eyes. I'm just gonna do my simple everyday look. I don't wanna have to get way into it today. So I am using Too Faced Natural Eyes. I love this palette. I just like that neutral look, especially just for everyday wear. It's easy to use. I'm gonna go in with Nudie for my crease and just set that as my, it's a good transition color. Today I'm probably only going to use that and then put something down on my brow bone and then a little bit on my lid, because we're not gonna go major glam today. No need, no major plans. This is just see how this Aqua Surance performs type of day. All I'm doing is a whole bunch of school drop-offs, school pickups. I have my nephew today, this afternoon, so I gotta pick him up from preschool, drop my youngest off to preschool this afternoon. It's just a busy drop-off pickup day with the kids. All right, so I just make this a little bit deeper. If I'm going to just use my basic look for the day, it's just simple. So now I'm gonna go in. I use my finger. It's just easier for me to apply it. I do have synthetic flat brushes to use, but I'm gonna dip into Honey Pot here. I just swipe back and forth a little bit. I like it to be shiny. It's already a shiny product, but I really like it to be shiny. So I'm gonna use my Catrice setting spray. This is the Prime and Fine Dewy Glow. I love this drugstore setting spray. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. I have MAC Fix Plus, but honestly, I kind of prefer this one. So I'm just gonna pat this on. This is just the way that I like to do it. Some people think it's disgusting, but let's be real. I'm not sharing my products with anybody. My hands are clean before I even dip into my makeup, so who cares? Judge if you want. I'm not gonna change my methods. So I use the other finger, that way you have the same type of contour in your fingertips for each eyelid. If you go in, if you're right-handed and you go in with your right on both eyes, you're not necessarily going to get the same type of look. So that's a little trick. Use both fingers. It feels weird at first, but you'll get used to it. Okay, next I'm just going to, like I said, we're going very simple, no glam. I'm just gonna put a little highlight under the brow. So I'm going in with Silk Teddy, and we're just gonna pop that right underneath here very lightly. And the other, okay, good enough. All right, so that's that. I am going to go in, I'm gonna very lightly line my lips with my NYX lip liner. Like I said, I use a mix of prestige and drugstore. You buy what you love, and I love a mix of both. Foundation, I love the Wet n Wild foundations, and I have tried prestige. I like them, but I have several kids, 3 kids, and I have a husband, and I have a dog, and a ferret, and 2 ducks that I take care of. And yes, I said ducks. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I try my best to keep it as affordable as possible. And you go through foundation fast, so sometimes I can't always afford or justify. I can afford it, I just can't always justify it, to be spending about $40 for a bottle of foundation every month to month and a half. So let me just finish this. That's good. Next I'm going to go in, I'm not going to use any liquid lipstick like I normally do for the red. I'm just going to go in, it's dry. I'm using my Burt's Bees lip balm that has color to it. This is the color Rhubarb. And I'm just going to go over it. I like their lip balms that have the tint, because living in such a dry zone, I find that a lot of lipsticks and liquid lips just suck all the moisture out of my lips, and I don't like the way that it feels. So if I can ever find anything that's a tinted chapstick or a lip balm, that's what I go with. Okay, so that's today's look. I'm just gonna set it real quick. Again, Catrice Prime. I already did eyeliner earlier today. I'm not gonna do any smudging under the eyes because, again, we're not doing glam look today. We're just doing running errands, being a mom look today. It's a little dressed up because I did do the red lip. I don't normally do it because I don't always have time. I don't always have children that are not interrupting me. So I'm lucky right now. So I'm gonna check in later. You know, the one thing I don't have is my mascara. Let me grab that really quick so we can finish everything off. Here we go. I am going to use my MAC mascara. Just apply this really fast and we will call this look finished. I don't really wear false lashes. My eyelashes are pretty long on their own, but falsies, I have pretty sensitive eyes. And the falsies just sit on my eyes and irritate them, so I've just decided, as much as I want those Instagram moments in my life, I will forgo them and just let it be. I'll live my best life with these God-given lashes that I have. Okay, so here. I will say this MAC mascara, I do love it. It doesn't bleed too badly, but this wand is so thick that it is tough to do those lower lashes without getting something all over your under eye. So I'm just gonna come a little bit closer so you guys can see. So far I'm liking the under eye powder that I used. It's really for a foundation. So this is a powder foundation that you can use. I would say that's great if you have combo skin or oily skin. I personally would not even try this as a foundation for myself, having extremely dry skin, but we're giving this a shot, hoping that it'll maybe lock in some of that moisture like it claims to do. I'm gonna check back in with you guys here shortly. Hey you guys, I'm just doing a quick check-in with you. It's been about 3 hours since I've put this on. Things are still looking pretty good. Not scaly. It does actually kind of look better than what my makeup normally looks like. I'm usually pretty scaly in my under eye area, and then I start to get really patchy right through here on the nose area. It looks good. So far I'm impressed. I'm gonna check back in close to dinner time because, like I said, that's normally when things start to fall apart for me. So stay tuned. Okay, so another check-in. I am doing a pickup at school, but just thought that I would check in with some natural lighting. It is looking really good, you guys. I'm pretty impressed. I don't look scaly at all. I am very well known to call myself a lizard, so I don't look reptilian today. I look human today. I'm loving this so far, so we'll see how it continues to hold up. Okay, so it's about 9 o'clock here now. I've been wearing this for quite some time. It's still doing pretty good. Little scaly underneath here, but that's over 12 hours of wear at this point, so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I like it. It did well. I'm gonna continue to use this just to kind of see if maybe I change things up a little bit, if it's gonna improve the performance or cause it to decline, and who knows, maybe this will become one of my new favorites, but we'll see. So thanks for sticking with me in this video, taking your time to check it out. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, ring the bell for those notifications, comment below, and just so everyone knows, this video was not sponsored today. Thanks, bye everyone.